conflict-related incidents. And a recent poll by French survey group Odoxa predicts that 30-year-old far-right leader Jordan Bardella could win the 2027 presidential election, regardless of who his opponents are. Bardella, who is currently the head of the far-right National Rally Party and successor to Marine Le Pen, would secure between 35% and 36% of the vote in the first round, according to the survey conducted on November 19 and 20. In the second round, Bardella is projected to defeat all potential rivals, including far-left leader Jean-Luc Mélenchon and centrist candidates such as former Prime Ministers Gabriel Attal and Eduardo Philippe. The poll showed Bardella winning 74% against Mélenchon and 53% against Philippe, although earlier polls suggest a narrower loss to Philippe in a runoff. Many French lawmakers are reacting to the poll. Let's listen in.
Je pense qu'une élection, ça se gagne à l'issue d'une campagne et que la campagne n'a pas démarré. Je pense que la campagne révélera, au-delà des idées de fond qui ne règlent en rien les problèmes des Français. Le problème budgétaire, c'est les immigrés. Le trou de la Sécu, c'est les immigrés. L'insécurité, c'est les immigrés. La crise économique, c'est les immigrés. Je pense qu'une campagne démontrera que quand on a une solution simpliste et populiste à des problèmes extrêmement complexes, eh bien ça ne tient pas, et que la campagne démontrera aussi à la fois le manque d'expérience et le manque de compétences de M. Bardella. M. Bardella a quand même échoué à chaque mandat que les Français lui ont confié. Il l'a envoyé à la région Île-de-France, il a été dramatiquement absent. Les Français l'ont envoyé à l'Union européenne, quasiment aucun amendement, aucune proposition de loi, quasiment pas de présence. Et aujourd'hui, on voudrait le mettre à la tête de l'État. Je pense que la campagne électorale démontrera à la fois le néant sur le fond et l'incompétence de ce garçon.
Oui, enfin, on a pour la première fois, nous sommes positionnés comme des vainqueurs potentiels de cette élection présidentielle. Ça nous encourage à persévérer. Voilà, nous prenons les choses avec beaucoup de froideur, beaucoup de distance. C'est mieux ça que l'inverse, évidemment, mais ça nous encourage à travailler, ça nous encourage à continuer à aller voir les Français et à crédibiliser notre offre politique. Je pense que ça démontre aussi que toutes les attaques les plus, j'allais dire, fallacieuses, les moins nobles vis-à-vis de Jordan Bardella tapent à côté. Donc nous, on va continuer.
And moving on now, Nigel Farage, the leader of Britain's anti-immigration reform UK party, has denied making anti-Semitic or racist remarks after a report alleged that he did so while at school. Farage, who's 61, has said that he had never directly racially abused anybody or had not targeted individuals based on their background. He has acknowledged that some comments made decades ago could be interpreted as banter in playground, but insisted he had no intent to harm anyone and would not apologize, saying he did not directly hurt anybody. Reports suggest that more than a dozen former pupils at a fee-paying South London school accused Farage of using anti-Semitic language, performing Nazi salutes and singing songs referencing gas chambers, though some classmates said they did not recall any racist behavior. And France's Finance Minister Roland Lescure has said that the country's success in artificial intelligence will depend on a combination of specialist talent and strong data center infrastructure. Speaking at the Adopt AI conference in Paris, Lescure emphasized the importance of clean energy, increased research investment, and improved adoption of AI technologies in the public sector to remain competitive on the global stage. Listen in.
Pour développer l'intelligence artificielle, je l'ai dit tout à l'heure, il faut des cerveaux et des serveurs. Et pour développer des serveurs, il faut beaucoup d'électricité décarbonée. Donc investir dans le programme énergétique de la France, à la fois dans le renouvelable et dans le nucléaire, c'est essentiel. Ensuite, s'assurer, le président de la République était ici il y a quelques mois au niveau du sommet de l'intelligence artificielle, il avait dit, je m'en souviens, plug, baby plug. Il faut brancher. Il faut s'assurer que toutes les infrastructures qui permettent de brancher l'électricité dans ces centres de données sont bien présents, et ça on y travaille évidemment avec RTE. 2, continuer à investir dans la recherche, enfin 3 plutôt, continuer à investir dans la recherche et développement pour que nos cerveaux, qui sont la fierté de la France et de l'Europe, continuent à être là. Et 4, très important également, que l'administration montre la voie. On a besoin de convaincre les concitoyens qui sont en dehors de ce beau palais que pour eux aussi, l'intelligence artificielle, ça va leur changer la vie. Ce qu'on appelle les use cases, les cas d'usage dans l'administration, qu'il faut que quand vous vous connectez sur votre ordinateur et que vous êtes en interaction avec l'administration,
And hit by sanctions, Serbia's only oil refinery, which supplies much of the country's fuel needs, faces a complete shutdown in a matter of days due to a lack of crude supplies. Serbian President Alexander Vučić has said that the Pancevo refinery's operations had scaled back to warm circulation and were 4 days away from a complete halt. Since last month, the Russian majority-owned petroleum industry of Serbia has been hit with sanctions as part of Washington's crackdown on Russia's energy sector after the 2022 invasion of Ukraine. Vučić said he had stockpiled enough fuel to last until the end of the year, with further reserves held by the government. Serbia, which is also heavily reliant on cheap Russian gas, remains among the few European countries not to impose sanctions on Moscow over the war in Ukraine. Listen in to what the Serbian president had to say.
Rafinerija naftne industrije Srbije nalazi se u tehnološkom procesu takozvane tople cirkulacije, ili da to prevedem u nekoj vrsti tihog hoda, još nije zatvorena, još nije ugašena, ali je već to niži režim rada u odnosu na uobičajeno.
And Economy Minister Jose Gabriel Espinosa has said that Bolivia is negotiating multilateral financing that will exceed $9 billion for public and private projects. This is the first major policy announcement since centrist President Rodrigo Paz took office earlier this month. The package arranged with the consortium of lenders exceeds the government's initial $4 to $5 billion forecast and is designed to stabilize an economy battered by high inflation, a widening fiscal deficit, and a shortage of foreign currency. Espinosa said that roughly a third of the financing is expected to arrive within the next 60 to 90 days. The funds from creditors, including the World Bank and the Development Bank of Latin America, will reportedly support private sector's initiatives in infrastructure, renewable energy, and financial inclusion. In the latest kidnappings that's rocked Nigeria, gunmen have seized 10 women and children from a village in Nigeria's western Kwara state. The raid comes 1 week after gunmen killed 2 people and kidnapped 35 worshippers in an attack on a church in the village of Iruku. The state police commissioner has said that the attackers were herders who had shot sporadically during the night raid on the village of Isapa. Last week, armed gangs also seized more than 300 children from a Catholic school in Nigeria's north-central Niger state and 25 schoolgirls from another school. Nigeria is facing a long-running security crisis fueled by jihadist attacks and violence by bandit gangs that raid villages, kill people, and kidnap for ransom. Let's now listen in to what the Nigerian parents whose children have been taken away from them had to say.
Na a jikina babu zaman lafiya, a gidana kuma babu zaman lafiya, saboda do gidana ma gaba ɗaya ma rikice, saboda akai yaro ne karni wanda ba wanda ya san magana ba mu san yanayin da yake ba, to gaskiya babu zaman lafiya. Ko ita ma maman yaro ma jiya ma sanda na kai ta asibiti. Ina maganan bacci ba maganan bacci, abinci muke yi ba kullum addu'a muke yi don Allah mutane su taimake mu, yan jami'an tsaro su taimake mu, ko ya abin zai yi Allah a taimaka mana da abubuwan yaran su dawo mu gansu, abinda muke fata ubangijin Allah a yi hankuri a taimaka mana yara ɗin su dawo. Ba mu ji daɗi ba, kowa abin gaba ɗaya ne, kowa yana jin bakin ciki, kowa. There's hope for me. I need my child back. If instead of software person have power to just collect his charge, I forbid. What? No power.
And in the last story of the bulletin, according to the United Nations World Food Programme, resurgence, the jihadist attacks and the ongoing instability in northern Nigeria are driving hunger to unprecedented levels. In a statement, WFP official Emmanuel has reported that hunger in the region has reached levels we have not seen in years. The World Food Programme has released footage that shows medical treatment and food distribution efforts in the affected areas, highlighting the severity of the crisis. Millions of people in Nigeria in north are facing extreme food insecurity due to escalating violence, displacement, and a breakdown in local agriculture. The situation has been exacerbated by the rise of jihadist groups like Boko Haram and the Islamic State West Africa province, who continue to destabilize the region. The World Food Programme is ramping up efforts to provide emergency assistance, but with access to some areas restricted due to security concerns, the humanitarian response is struggling to keep up with the ongoing needs. Listen in.
Here in northeast Nigeria, we are witnessing a deterioration of hunger and malnutrition. Insurgent attacks have intensified and communities are carrying the weight of this. Hunger is now reaching levels we have not seen in years. If families cannot eat and fear continues to grow, desperation will take hold. Armed groups can use that desperation to tighten their grip, putting the wider region even at greater risk.
And with that, it's a wrap on the newsroom. Keep watching for more breaking news updates.